for General Counsel for the Department of Commerce. I have a few yes or no quick questions for you, and I would appreciate a quick yes or no response. Yes or no, are you familiar with the bipartisan infrastructure law from 2021?
I'm not sure I am, Senator.
Well, boy, Mr. Chairman. So we have someone before us to go to the Department of Commerce that's not familiar with one of the biggest pieces of legislation that this Congress enacted in a bipartisan fashion to build infrastructure in America. Is that correct?
Maybe there's an aspect of the law, Senator, you want me to ask about. I may not be familiar with that name.
Are you aware with the it was called the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law in 2021? It was referred to by other names as well. That doesn't sound familiar? Well, nonetheless, are you familiar with something called the Digital Equity Act?
I'm aware of the fact that there is a program, a grant program by that name, Senator.
Can you tell me what that program is?
My understanding is that is a program that is designed to make the digital economy available to Americans.
So my question is yes or no, is the purpose of the Digital Equity Act to help close the gap in broadband adoption and support programs that help provide children and seniors with the skills they need for the digital age?
I don't know the details of that program, Senator. I would defer to you if that is how the program is described.
I will stand by that description. Yes or no, does Article 3 of the Constitution say that judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court?
Yes, Senator.
Yes or no, did Marbury versus Madison, a Supreme Court case from 1803, establish judicial review?
Oh, you're taking me back to law school, Senator, but that sounds correct.
Yes or no, does the judicial branch have the sole power to declare a law unconstitutional?
Senator, certainly the judicial authorities have the right to review laws for their constitutionality.
Yes or no, did the President declare the Digital Equity Act, a bipartisan law passed by Congress, unconstitutional in a Truth Social post?
I'm aware that the President issued a Truth Social post regarding the Digital Equity Act, Senator.
May 8th, 2025 at 4:38 p.m. Yes or no, does the Constitution grant the President the power to nullify entire sections of laws passed by Congress?
Senator, I have not looked into in any way the constitutional issues that you just flagged relating to this. I have not done so.
In law school, do they teach you that the President can nullify?
I don't recall that was discussed when I was in law school. It was a long time ago.
Where'd you go to law school?
Columbia Law School, Senator.
On Friday, this letter was sent out from the President of the United States, the Department of Commerce, to constituents in all of our states, nullifying this program based on what President Trump said. Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick and we agree that this is totally unconstitutional. I owe my colleagues from across the country whose constituents are depending on this program just to get connected to the internet. That's how this all happened, that we can work together to reverse that. Mr. Fink, under your leadership, the railroad you ran was found to have, quote, critical safety concerns, culture of retaliation, high accident rates, and extremely poor track conditions, which increase the risk of derailments. The FRA, the agency you are nominated to leave, attributed these to, quote, failure of Pan Am's leadership. How can we trust you to hold this position and hold companies accountable to areas that were not met while you were there?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I would disagree that we did meet the standards, and there was a disagreement between our folks and FRA. And let me just say that anytime we had issues with FRA, we fixed things and we argued about them later. If they said something wasn't right, we fixed it. So we had a safety audit. I disagreed. We had a safety culture. We did safety culture studies, and our incidents and accidents were at or below the industry standards.
Mr. Fink, two of my colleagues asked you questions about the nature of the track that was covered in trees and all the rest. You responded that you took their safety person out and did a walk and whatnot.
Yes, we did.
My question is, are you contending that the CEO of CSX lied?
No, sir.
Appreciate that. Every time Amtrak employees have come before this committee, I've pushed for robust funding and support for Amtrak to improve and expand our nation's long-term rail network. You may have heard from Senator Moran, but Kansas, Colorado, and New Mexico often get together when we start seeing attacks on the Southwest Chief. Yes or no, are you committed to advocating for increased funding for the long-distance network to address outdated equipment and maintenance issues?
I am for Amtrak being a national network and us supporting Amtrak as a national network.
What about the Southwest Chief?
I do not have any information on the Southwest Chief. I'm not sure where it goes. I will certainly work with the committee on specific Amtrak issues. I am for the Amtrak National Network.
Appreciate that. Before Senator Moran calls you into his office with the rest of us in there, I'd encourage you to learn about the Southwest Chief.
I will learn about everything I need to learn before I have to go to Senator Moran's office.
Well, especially the Southwest Chief. I'm telling you, there will be a meeting. It happens every year. The CEOs come in. Well, the person in your position is going to come in and all the rest. So I hope we can find some commonality there. Mr. Chairman, I have other questions for the record. I'll submit them for a response as well. Thank you, and yield back my time.